Hello, sixth grade. It is Miss Scott in the library, and I am back for more book talk time and to tell you about some new books that, well, some are kind of new, but some books that may be very new to you, and let you know what they're about and see if you want to come check them out. The first book I have for you is a graphic novel called This Was Our Pact, and it's actually a very pretty, there's a whole lot going on in here. But it is a beautiful book. The author and illustrator is named Ryan Andrews, and he uses colors to reflect what's going on. He uses the blue to reflect the nighttime. He uses gray to reflect a flashback or emotions. He uses the yellows to kind of bring it some more vibrancy. So here are some in here. You can see some of the artwork in there. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about this book, and then I'm going to show you the book trailer. But, and then he also uses black to reflect them swimming kind of among the stars. It's really a kind of a grand adventure type book. And he's definitely shows the influence that the Japanese culture has had on him because he lives in Japan. And the Japanese culture kind of comes through this book a little bit with a lantern festival and a promise made by some kids that they were going to follow the lanterns. Let me go ahead and get the book trailer showing for you. So this was our pact.
Ben and his three buddies have made a pact. It's the Autumn Equinox Festival, and each year the town floats paper lanterns down the river. And according to legend, they eventually drift out of sight, soaring off to the Milky Way and become brilliant stars. This year, Ben and his friends will follow the lanterns to find out where they really go, and to ensure everyone is all in, they create a simple but serious pact. No one turns back for home, and no one looks back. So they hop on their bikes and the journey begins. Well, it's not long until Ben's buddies break the pact and turn back for home. And just as they do, Ben, who is pretty bummed that the pact is broken, sees someone else on a bike heading his way. It's Nathaniel. Ben doesn't dislike odd, kind of nerdy Nathaniel, but he definitely doesn't fit in. As they find out, and you can too, this is where the adventure begins. Together, Nathaniel and Ben's journey will take them farther than any other person has dared to go in the past. And along the way, they meet an array of bizarre characters and learn about friendship. If you are looking for excellent graphic art combined with a storyline filled with hope, endless possibilities, and life's adventures, then this book is for you.
That is also on the Libby Overdrive app in case you happen to check out ebooks through Plano Public Library or Richardson Public Library. But seriously, the artwork is very beautiful and quite stunning. And I did find this page right here. I did find on YouTube, and it's silent. There's no music. There's nothing. It's just the artist, and you can only see the artist's hands, Ryan Andrews' hands. You can see him drawing this particular page, which that kind of gives you an idea about how unique this book is. I can tell you they get involved. There's a bear, a potion slinging old lady, and they end up getting directions from a giant. So it is an absolute adventure that you might want to pick up and read. This was our pact. So now for a little bit more reality. This book has a Coretta Scott King Award medal on there. This book received acknowledgement for its contribution to literature. This is The Stars Beneath Our Feet by David Barclay Moore, and it has a very urban feel as our main character, whose name is Wallace, but everybody calls him Lolly. He lives in Harlem with his mom. Now, his brother was recently shot and killed, and they were fighting at the time, and it was kind of like a big secret that Lolly has kept inside. And but it was part of a drive-by shooting. And so he and his mom are having a hard time with that grief, because it is hard when that sort of thing happens. And but he finds solace in building Legos. It was something that he always liked to do, but he only had so many sets. I'm going to get back to that in just 1 minute, though. But he also has a friend, Jeremiah, and he and Jeremiah end up getting like mugged or robbed, and they are starting to think about, maybe my safety is found within a gang or something like that, and they wanted to protect themselves. So that is kind of going on in the backstory, and you'll find out what sorts of decisions the main character, Lolly, ends up choosing. But in the meantime, his mother's girlfriend brings home bags of Legos from work, because she knew he liked Legos, but he had only really liked Lego sets with instructions. He never had just a whole bunch of Legos. And he ends up going to a room at this school where they had a whole bunch of Legos, and he ends up making a friend who has autism, and her name is Rose. And they start working on this together. And sooner or later, his mom's girlfriend starts bringing more and more Legos, and they were getting very intricate with their designs and all of that sort of things. Well, he finds out that his mom's girlfriend had been stealing the Legos from her work, and that created a whole lot of problems. But his mom's pretty good at helping Lolly solve his own problems too. So this is The Stars Beneath Our Feet by David Barclay Moore. Our next book is Towers Falling. And if you notice in the water where the L's are, that is a reflection, and that's meant to depict the two towers that were standing, that were a part of the attack on September 11th, 2001. I have a book trailer for this one too. This one is a really good book. I read it about a year or so ago. Our main character is Deja, and she's got a whole lot of things going on in her life, and she's a modern day fifth grader, like now. Well, it was said a few years ago, but she was a fifth grader, and she's not understanding how the World Trade Center bombing, how that's affecting her life now. But I'm going to go ahead and let you watch the trailer, Towers Falling.
Towers Falling by Jewell Parker Rhodes. Deja Barnes is living in a homeless shelter with her family in New York City. She has to attend a new school, and she is not happy about it. She acts tough and tries to keep to herself, but Ben and Sabine are determined to become her friends. When her school starts a curriculum all about September 11th, 2001, and the Twin Towers, it seems Deja is the only one who doesn't know what happened and why everyone is so upset about it. As a class, they learn how all people are connected in some small way. With the help of Ben and Sabine, Deja discovers that on 9/11, terrorists attacked America and brought down the Twin Towers. The towers were part of the World Trade Center, and people from all over the globe worked there. Deja and Ben visit the place where the towers once stood, now a memorial called Ground Zero. They see that some good can come out of every situation, even a tragedy. The terrible events of 9/11 united our country. The three children grow to understand what it means to be a friend, to be a community, and to be an American. At the end of the project, Deja realizes how 9/11 affected people of all ages, religions, and nationalities, even including the members of her own family. To find out more, read Towers Falling by Jewell Parker Rhodes.
Okay, so that is Towers Falling by Jewell Parker Rhodes. Like, I have 2 copies here at our library, so you can see the Twin Towers in the water. This is what's currently standing in New York. I think they call it Freedom Tower. But yeah, if you've heard Jewell Parker Rhodes' name before, she wrote Ghost Boys, and she has another book that I'll be talking to you guys about in future book talks called Ninth Ward.
Good afternoon, Wilson Rand. Today is
Hold on, please.
November 4th.
Okay, sorry about that. I'll try to edit it out, but my editing skills aren't so great. So the next book that I want to talk to you about is called A Dog's Life by Anne Martin. Anne Martin has written a lot of books. She has some dog books. She, years and years ago, wrote the Babysitters Club that have been really popular. Those are popular again because Raina Telgemeier has been illustrating and adapting those books to graphic novels, which are great. But this is called A Dog's Life, the Autobiography of a Stray. So I'm not going to tell you too much about it other than I'm going to read to you from the book. And this won't take too long. Remember, this is the autobiography of a dog. Well, we know dogs can't write, but she's writing it from the perspective of the dog. The fire is crackling and my paws are warm, my tail too, and my nose, my ears. I'm lying near the hearth on a plaid bed, which Susan bought for me. Lying in the warmth, remembering other nights, nights in the woods under a blanket of stars, nights spent with the moon, nights in the shed when I was a puppy, and the many, many nights spent searching for bone. The fire pops and I rise slowly, turn around twice, then a third time, and settle onto the bed again. Susan smiling fondly at me from her armchair. Warmth is important to an old dog. At least it is to me. I can't speak for all dogs, of course, since not all dogs are alike. And most certainly, not all dogs have the same experiences. I've known of dogs who dined on fine foods and led pampered lives, sleeping on soft beds and being served hamburger and chicken and even steak. I've known dogs who look longingly at warm homes, who are not invited inside, who stayed in the garage or a shed under a wheelbarrow for a few days and then moved on. I've known dogs who were treated cruelly by human hands and dogs who were treated with the gentlest touch. Dogs who starved and dogs who grew fat from too many treats. I've known all these dogs, and I've been all these dogs. So it starts off with that, and our main dog is named Squirrel, and so that is a reflection from Squirrel. And then chapter 1, or part 1, starts off with Squirrel's life starting when she is born. And then it goes all the way until she ends up with Susan. Remember, because it said she was an old dog. But there's a whole lot in between the beginning and the end. And if you're a pet lover, and you're a dog lover, you might enjoy this book. I know you'll enjoy this book, but it might tear at your heart a little bit. Anne Martin is a big proponent of adopting dogs from shelters and that sort of thing. So if that's something you are interested in or you feel passionately about too, this might be a good book. It'll touch your heart for sure. And then finally, I'm excited for this because if you walk by the library, you will see I have a new author spotlight out, and it is about Jacqueline Woodson. And this is a book that was on an awards list last year, and it's called Harbour Me. And I found a really cool clip with her actually talking about her book, Harbour Me. So I felt like it would be better to let you guys hear it straight from the author. So here you go. This is Jacqueline Woodson talking about her book, Harbour Me.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline Woodson, and I'm the author of Brown Girl Dreaming, Each Kindness, Pecan Pie Baby, and If You Come Softly, among many others. The title of my new middle grade book is Harbour Me. Harbour Me is the story of 6 young people who are in a combined 5th, 6th grade class. And one Friday, the teacher announces to them that she's going to put them into a classroom for an hour every Friday at the end of the school day where she won't be in the classroom with them, where they'll be there alone to just talk. And the kids are very resistant to this because they don't understand why. And eventually they begin to understand. Harbour Me covers a number of themes. I think it covers what it means to be family, and that one child is being raised by her uncle. It covers what it means to be good friends and what it means to take care of each other. The theme of deportation and loss, what it means to be a Black boy in this country, what does it mean to be an American citizen, and watch your friends get taken away. So lots goes on. I think the biggest inspiration for Harbour Me was asking myself the question, what would it mean to put 6 young people in a room to talk? And what would they say? What would they think? What would they do? Would they misbehave? Would they act the fool? Or would they really talk? Or would they do all of that? And then to begin to create characters. I don't think I've ever created a book with this many characters in it, all who have very strong personalities. But some of the stuff they say is really funny. Some of it is really thoughtful. Some of it is really evocative. And you come to know their lives through the narrative.
So that was Harbour Me by Jacqueline Woodson. I do have an author spotlight set up about Miss Woodson. It's in the windows closest to where you enter, or I'm sorry, where you exit the library. But if you're walking by and you see one of those titles that you want to check out, you are more than welcome to let me know, and I'll help you with that. I do know that you will be visiting another book from Miss Jacqueline Woodson with your teachers later on this year called Locomotion, and it is one you are sure to love. So I hope you find at least one thing that I've talked about today, or that, oops, I just dropped my whole thing, my whole stack of books. I hope that you found something that I talked about today where you might possibly want to check it out, put it on hold. If you're at home, you can put it on hold and we'll work out a way for you to communicate with me and we'll get it checked out to you. So until the next time, happy reading, and I hope you all are having a great day. Bye.